Picture this. A town once filled with life, busy streets, families, and dreams of a bright future. But now, it's empty. The streets are silent, buildings are abandoned, and the life that was once there is gone forever. Across Canada, there are cities that have been completely abandoned, places that once thrived but now stand frozen in time. What happened to them? How does a city just die? Was it a disaster, a collapse in industry, or something even stranger? In this video, we're going to explore these forgotten places. Cities that were full of promise but are now left to crumble. And make sure you stay until the end because one of these cities has a story so bizarre, it might just blow your mind. Let's dive in and uncover the haunting stories behind Canada's dead cities. Why did they vanish? And could they ever come back? Let's find out. City 1. Barkerville, British Columbia. Let's kick things off with one of Canada's most iconic ghost towns, Barkerville, British Columbia. Back in the 1860s, Barkerville was the epicenter of the Cariboo Gold Rush. People from all over the world flocked to this remote area, chasing their dreams of striking it rich. In no time, Barkerville transformed from a small, unknown settlement into a booming town. It had everything: a lively main street lined with hotels, saloons, shops, and even a theater. It wasn't just a town, it was a symbol of opportunity and adventure. But, as with most gold rushes, the excitement didn't last forever. As the gold became harder to find, miners packed up and left in search of their next big break. Barkerville's population rapidly declined, and by the early 1900s, the once thriving town was nearly deserted. Today, Barkerville is frozen in time, preserved as a national historic site. But while tourists come and go, the town itself remains eerily still, a reminder of how quickly fortune can fade. Though Barkerville is no longer a bustling hub of activity, it stands as a fascinating chapter in Canada's history, showing how a town can rise and fall in the blink of an eye, a place where dreams were made and quickly forgotten. City 2. Gagnon, Quebec. Next up is Gagnon, Quebec, a town that didn't just fall into ruin but was completely wiped off the map. Gagnon was founded in the 1960s as a mining town built around the rich iron ore deposits in the region. The town quickly flourished, with homes, schools, and everything you'd expect in a thriving community. Life was good, and Gagnon became a symbol of economic success in the remote wilderness of northern Quebec. However, this prosperity came to an abrupt halt in the 1980s when the iron ore mine that supported the town shut down. With no other industries to sustain it, Gagnon was abandoned almost overnight. But what makes Gagnon's story truly unique is that the town didn't just become a ghost town. It was literally erased. Every building, every piece of infrastructure was demolished. Today, if you visit the site where Gagnon once stood, you won't find crumbling ruins or abandoned houses. Instead, there's nothing. Just an empty stretch of road surrounded by forest. It's a rare case of a town being intentionally removed from existence. Gagnon went from a bustling town to nothing but a memory in just a few short years, leaving behind no trace of its former life. It's a haunting reminder of how dependent some cities are on the industries that build them and how quickly they can vanish when those industries collapse. City 3. Kitsault, British Columbia. Our next stop takes us to Kitsault, British Columbia, a town that's not just abandoned, but eerily frozen in time. Kitsault was built in the late 1970s, designed as a home for workers of a booming molybdenum mine. The town was state-of-the-art, complete with modern homes, a shopping mall, a hospital, and even a movie theater. It was the perfect picture of a thriving modern community. But Kitsault's prosperity didn't last long. After only 18 months of operation, the price of molybdenum crashed, and the mine was forced to close in 1982. Almost overnight, the residents packed their bags and left, abandoning the town just as quickly as they had arrived. What's fascinating about Kitsault is that, unlike other ghost towns, it was never allowed to decay. The town's buildings are still in perfect condition, as if the people who lived there had just stepped out for a moment. The electricity still works, the lawns are maintained, and the streets are clean, yet no one lives there. Kitsault is often called a modern ghost town, a place that feels more like a movie set than a long-forgotten relic of the past. Today, Kitsault is privately owned by a businessman with dreams of reviving it, but for now, it remains frozen in time, a perfectly preserved reminder of how quickly a town's fortunes can change. City 4, Val-Jalbert, Quebec. Our journey continues with Val-Jalbert, Quebec, a once thriving industrial town that now stands as a living museum. Founded in the early 1900s, Val-Jalbert was built around a massive pulp mill that produced paper for the growing demand across North America. The town was incredibly advanced for its time, with modern amenities like electricity in homes, a luxury many cities couldn't yet offer. The people of Val-Jalbert lived comfortably, and the town flourished alongside its booming industry. But as with many single-industry towns, its fate was tied to the success of the mill. When the mill shut down in 1927, the town's lifeblood was cut off. Without the mill to provide jobs and economic stability, Val-Jalbert's population dwindled rapidly. By the 1930s, it was completely abandoned, left to the elements and nature's slow reclaim. However, unlike other ghost towns that were forgotten, Val-Jalbert has been given a second life, this time as a tourist destination. The town has been carefully restored, with its old buildings and homes preserved to show visitors what life was like during its heyday. It now serves as a fascinating time capsule of early 20th century life in Quebec. Walking through Val-Jalbert today feels like stepping back in time. Though the machines have long since stopped running, the town remains a captivating snapshot of a once thriving community frozen in history. City 5, Bankhead, Alberta. Next, we head to Bankhead, Alberta, a town that once fueled the Canadian Pacific Railway and helped power the growth of Western Canada. Founded in the early 1900s, Bankhead was built around a coal mine situated in the stunning Canadian Rockies. The town quickly became a bustling hub, home to hundreds of miners and their families, with churches, schools, and a lively community. Bankhead seemed like it had a bright future. However, Bankhead's downfall came much sooner than expected. The coal extracted from the mine was of lower quality, and combined with labor disputes and a decline in demand, the mine was closed in 1922. After just 2 decades of operation, once the mine shut down, there was little reason for people to stay. The residents packed up and buildings were either dismantled or moved to nearby communities like Banff. Today, Bankhead is a ghost town, its ruins scattered among the trees. Now a part of Banff National Park, Bankhead stands as a quiet reminder of how a community built on coal could disappear as quickly as it appeared. And there you have it, 5 Canadian cities that were once full of life, but are now just memories. Which story surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, then check our last one to get more and informative videos, like this video. Thanks for watching.